In today's video, I'm trying out the new F1 25 Sprint content update so you don't have to. This is, of course, a part of the Podium Pass Season 2, the live service, effectively, that the F1 game has tried to do for the last couple of years to some varied success or not really. You guys can let me know in the comments below. But this is the first iteration of it on F1 25. And this is the first of two different sprint content scenarios coming in this season. The second one being with Kimi Antonelli at Miami. This one, though, is here. Lewis wins in red with only a handful of laps remaining at the Formula 1 Chinese Grand Prix 2025. Lewis Hamilton finds himself leading the pack. However, the charging McLarens are closing in and fast. Can he hold them off and secure a sensational victory? Question mark. Which, I mean, going off that description, confusing me a little bit. If we actually go and click over into F1 World, let's see what this is all about. It's under solo events. If you go down here, there you go, scenario. It's the same description in F1 World as was the case in that opening main menu vista, which does confuse me a bit because wasn't this not meant to be a sprint race, not a full Grand Prix scenario? I know effectively it's going to be a sprint sort of content because they're only going to give us, well, it says a handful of laps, but I thought the whole point was it was meant to be a scenario based off the sprint it was, you know, referencing, which was the Chinese Grand Prix sprint. You know, for Antonelli's content, that literally has to be a sprint race, I think, because I think they're giving us an entire sprint race to do in the Antonelli one, because we're going to have to come from the back of the pack to try and get the win in Miami. I assume that's the way I read it on the website. So we'll see how this goes, but already this is a little bit of confusion.
The fans made their way in the early hours of the morning. The teams have been here all week. It is showtime, the main event for F1 World.
So once again, like all of the additional kind of loaded in content in F1 World from the previous F1 games, the commentary leaves a little bit to be desired. You know, it just references F1 World. Doesn't, you know, there's no unique commentary to the actual scenario. I would love to see that. I know it'd be tricky to, you know, hire Alex Jakes or Crofty to do specific commentary every time they did a live update, but that would be cool. How cool would it be them actually referencing the event we're doing as we load in now? The objective is just to win the race, exclamation mark, as we've got Piastri right behind us, 1.7. So the scenario is we've got 5 laps left of this full Chinese Grand Prix, but it is a sprint effectively because we're, you know, most of us are on soft tyres. Piastri, Leclerc, our own teammate, on soft. So is there a way we can maybe get a cheeky double Ferrari podium, I wonder, inside of this event? Norris on the medium, Verstappen with the fastest lap on the medium in P5, only, you know, 7.5 seconds back, so I imagine there might be enough time for this to all bunch up, because F1 World, you know, we've got the base level cars, and you know, compared to now what I'm used to in career mode, it's going to be a little bit trickier maybe to try and keep the cars at bay. I imagine also the AI acceleration is going to be ungodly here at Shanghai, so we're going to have to play this very tactically, saving as much battery as we can for the slingshot onto the main straight. Piastri's pretty much pushing us through the corner nearly. A little bit of a getting out the throttle for him, and that's helped us a little bit as we don't need to deploy battery probably all the way down the straight, but for a lot of it until the DRS line comes through. Piastri now with DRS as we just blip the ERS into the hairpin, a little bit wayward on the rear end as it snaps at us a little bit. It's the first time we've gone into that hairpin with this level of performance on the Ferrari, of course, with, you know, now we're driving basically a maxed out car in my team, so it is worlds difference night and day, as we've got some back markers that might help us out as well to block. But really now, I mean, Norris is overtaking Leclerc, so there you go. It is going to be the two McLarens that are coming at us. I thought we might have a chance of doing a double Ferrari podium, but like the blurb said, it's the scenarios, can we hold off the McLarens? It's not really imagining that Leclerc or Verstappen might be a threat, but I bet you by the end of it, it will be, with the amount of defense we're going to have to do on the straight constantly, as we try and use Doohan there to block Piastri as much as we could. Didn't really help me out that much as we go into the heart of Sector 2 again on none ERS, just saving as much battery as we can. I think this time, to be fair, Might try the little cheeky Wily or Fox move of letting Piastri through and getting the DRS back on him, basically, as we're going to just stick with medium here. Piastri sniffing around, and he's just actually not closed up as much as I thought, so I wanted to try and get him through, and then there's the DRS line, so we would have got DRS on him, so we'll have to try that another lap then. So this time we'll just be again trying to use the battery. We've got even more battery than we did last time, not over 90% that was. Norris is now in the background as well, so both the McLarens under 1 second, so this is going to be a 2 versus 1 scenario very, very soon as we go defensive into the hairpin, braking late. Oh, there, the Ferrari snapped on us. It's incredibly realistic. My word. I thought we were watching Hamilton's qualifying lap at Spa there for a second. Incredible levels of really... I'm being sarcastic if you were wondering. Oh, unbelievable realism here. And that was a clean lap, ladies and gents. That was a clean lap according to the game. I think we even gave Piastri damage there, but that was a clean lap. Don't make any mistakes about it. F1 World has spoken. That pop-up, it speaks nothing but truth. As Norris now has passed us, we've done the tactic we were trying to do in the last lap. We've let him by on purpose, open up DRS, and now dump the entire battery, gaining, and going for a kamikaze dive of sorts, cutting across. The McLaren will actually have a nice switch back there on the right-hand side, but we have the inside line for the final corner, and we will maintain P1. At this point, it seemed like every lap was basically the same, so I decided let's make our own scenario objective inside of the scenario, as we see it's 3 wide behind, as I am on purpose trying to slow everyone down. My new personal objective is, can we get Leclerc on the podium? Nay, can we get a Ferrari 1-2 as we try and use a bit of wheel locking to slow Norris up? Piastri's going to come through. There's the broken wing. That apparently was a clean lap for us. Verstappen comes through. We've been kind of swarmed a little bit now. It's McLaren v McLaren. We've managed to retake Verstappen, and now it's up to us to repass the McLarens, both of them, as Norris is going to squeeze out Piastri, undercut him on the left-hand side, use the battery and the DRS, more importantly, to gain on Norris. Leclerc making a move, maybe, on Piastri there. He nearly tried it down the inside, so maybe it's working. I'm kind of hoping Leclerc's AI gets the gist of it and tries to get a move on, as we have to be very aggressive with Lando's AI to get back down the inside. So, yeah, I honestly felt, you know, after 3 laps, it was just the same lap over and over. I was just defending. There wasn't really that much exciting, objective gameplay to be had. So, honestly, if you're going to play this, I feel like take it into your own hands. Add yourself another objective. So I'm going to try my best to get Charles on the podium, as Verstappen's AI is incredibly aggressive there. Did you see that swipe across? That was crazy. He literally went right into that left-hander. Good to see the Verstappen AI here inside of this scenario mode has been coded well. As we now close up, there's apparently a back marker to overtake. What back marker is there? I'm starting to think the UI here is not entirely accurate, you know. I'm starting to think my clean lap that we had before may have not been entirely clean. And to add to my misery here of now nothing making sense in this mode and scenario, Leclerc gets done. He gets absolutely rinsed by Tsunoda. What a dive bomb from him. And it's game over. I can't get... Leclerc's not even in the top 5, for goodness sake. So I tried to have a bit of fun with getting a Ferrari 1-2. Not possible. Leclerc's AI, I think he's not even P6. He's P7. He's outside the top 5. And he's even further than that. So absolutely brilliant. So we're just going to finish off this lap. Weave about, just for the sake of weaving about, see if the AI try and follow my slipstream. It's another rear-end lock for good measure, for that added realism for the Ferrari. Verstappen's actually come down the inside of us there and tried to overtake us into the last corner, over the curb and across the line, and it's going to be the win. And to my surprise, there wasn't even any Lewis radio coming in, as there would be if this was a Grand Prix mode or career mode or my team. No radio from Lewis. No nothing. no VO or anything to denote what we've just done with the scenario. Yeah, I, in a way, obviously, I've always said they should pay less attention to F1 World and more attention to, you know, my team or, you know, the single player stuff that actually people care about, which is exactly maybe what they've done this year, because obviously they paid all the attention to my team, and, you know, this clearly hasn't got a lot of love. But if they're going to still put out these sort of scenarios, I would like to see them have some, you know, unique VO to try and at least make it a little bit special. As, by the way, if you sticked around for this long, let me just show you the reward that you get for doing this. So you do get a reward for finishing and winning this race as Hamilton. And you can use that in my team. So especially for you console players, this could be, you know, important for you. If you have XER as a sponsor, a title sponsor, you may want to unlock this for your My Team career mode. So that's the livery. You get a choice of 3 different colors going on here. I can't actually see where the gold is used in this livery, to be honest, based off just this image. It's just that tiny little line on the rear wing, I think. Most of it's just the red in chrome and the white line there. But that's the reward then for the scenario. So I think you can agree. I think you're glad that I tested this for you and tried out for you, so you don't have to, because I doubt you'll want to. And if you like that fact, then be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.